This is a fascinating one, and I'd be very interested to hear a barrister pleading in his defence when his court-martial comes up, as it will in the longer term if he stays alive. If he intends to stay away permanently from the army, then they could frame a charge of desertion, which is really serious. If he comes back at some stage and surrenders himself, then he's absent without leave. And the rule of the thumb is that people will get court-martialed and they will do a day in jail for every day that they were absent. So if he's gone for a year, then he'll do a year in the military corrective training centre. But there's a sting in that tale as well, in that if he's sentenced to over 6 months, then he's discharged from the army. But if he's sentenced to less than 6 months, he can generally stay in the army. So this is a really interesting one. He's going to be alongside British soldiers who are training Kurdish troops, and again alongside British soldiers who are also calling in airstrikes on ISIS positions. So this is not an act of terrorism. This is not the same as joining ISIS. It's very, very different.
Would he be welcome, do you think, in these circumstances?
Oh, definitely. I think he's coming for the morality. I think he feels the danger of ISIS, while most of the government are not feel it. Individually, we can see the British people or the European people who come join us to fight the threat of the ISIS. It would be welcome very much, and our nation and our government will be very happy to see those kind of people who can help us.
What sort of numbers have foreign volunteers come to fight with Kurdish forces, or what sort of numbers have they come in?
There's a few of them in different places. In Kobani there was more, and in our side it is more officials who are coming from Italy, France, Britain, America as a trainer who train our forces. As you know, we have a 1,500 kilometer long battle with ISIS. So our troop need this kind of people who can provide us a train and latest technology and latest development.
Major Hayman, will there be, do you think, any attempt to apprehend him if he is AWOL?
Well, it all depends where he is. I mean, if he's still in the UK, I mean, they certainly will try and apprehend him. I mean, if he's actually out in Kurdistan, well, I mean, do you tell the British troops on the ground to apprehend someone who is actually on their side and helping the Kurds? I mean, it's a really, really difficult one. I mean, it's pretty much a legal minefield here.
Quite difficult, though, to see them actually, those people on legitimate missions actually cooperating with someone in these circumstances, or perhaps not.
Well, I don't think they'd cooperate with him, and I think he would probably stay away from them. I mean, you know, they would all. I mean, no one wants to cause a big problem here, I would have thought, and he will certainly stay away. They're not going to go after him on the ground in Kurdistan because they've got other things to do, far more important things to do. I mean, one thing I would say is that there are probably quite a lot of youngsters in the British Army who are well trained and seeing things happening in the name, crimes committed in the name of ISIL on the ground in Iraq and Syria. And there'll be quite a lot of people thinking along the same lines as this young man. What can we do to help? So he's probably the first of quite a few. Not many, but quite a few.
What is the state of the fight against IS now, as far as the Kurdish forces are concerned? We see reports saying IS are on the defensive, are they?
The only people who are foot on the ground fighting ISIS is the Kurds. 60 countries coalition decided to fight ISIS. The only people who are fighting is the Kurds. We lost nearly 1,100 young men and
women as well,
and women too, especially in the areas where the Kobani and Kirkuk and rest of the area. ISIS is come to using different tactic. ISIS is getting people around the world every day. Huge people come in through the different countries to ISIS areas, and according like Chinese Muslims and to the Moroccan Muslim, to the European Muslims. So the ISIS getting strongly every day. Plus, they have a lot of latest weapons. Plus, they are very brutal. They are trying to test different type of killing every day. So they are defended. Yes, in Kirkuk we fight very well. We did defeat them, and we lost big generals in our fight, especially from our forces from anti-terrorist branch. But in Kobani they are losing so hardly, and I think the ISIS will be defeated. And
do you think that the West should be doing more? Should be making a greater military contribution? I
think so. Yeah, I think it's a war for humanity. It's a war for the world. It's not a war for the Kurds. We are not only one who should be involved in this war. We need this kind of people who can. Generation has not been trained, and don't forget also Iraq doesn't collaborate very well with us. They don't send us money, they don't send us the weapons. Plus, you know, we need different angle from international community.
Finally, Major, would you say that there is amongst Britain's armed forces a certain mood of frustration building up as they see what's
a lot of sympathy for people who are fighting ISIS, and that is almost certain to grow as the weeks pass by. Frustration, no, but there's certainly going to be a few more people going off to join the Kurds. There's no doubt about that. And the Kurds are doing well. They're fighting hard. And they're fighting hard, I'm afraid, it's the truth, on our behalf. They're making it a little bit easier for us. It's only a matter of time, probably, before there are certainly quite a lot of coalition boots on the ground in Kurdistan and in that region.